Hey guys, so I had posted this print and cut hack on a Facebook group called Cricut for Latinos, and I was just showing my excitement, and it kind of exploded, and they all wanted me to show them how I did this. So here it is. I'm going to show you guys what I ended up doing. I actually collaborated with this on this concept with somebody else in a different sticker group, and we came up with something. I'll link her video as well. She has this hack for the Cricut Joy also. So to start off, I'm going to show you guys what I'm working with here. So I've turned the background on off color just so you can see the offset is white. And I'm using this generic stamp just to show you guys as an example of what I'm going to be doing. So first you want to make sure that from the gallery that you go ahead and create a new sheet that is going to be a canvas. It's going to be 8.5 by 11 inches. So that's what mine is here. If you go here, canvas, you will see I have as 8.5 by 11 inches, 350 dpi. That's all I need. So working with this sheet size, I have my stamp here is already has the offset and everything. I'm going to create a copy of it just to have it handy in this size. The reason I wanted to have a duplicate option of it is because this is what happens in Procreate. If you bring this down to be a tiny little sticker, and if you try to bring it back up, I don't know if you can see, but it's very pixelated now, and essentially you can't use this. It's gonna print looking this way. So I always try to keep a backup of what I'm working with. So I'm gonna go in and I am going to make this a little bit smaller. That's approximately how big I'm gonna have it, and I can tell that I'm probably going to be able to fit 2 more over here. So before I go forward anymore, I'm going to show you that I also have drawn in my own personal registration marks of sorts. The machine is not going to recognize these at all. This is just for us to show Cricut that we're working with a sheet that is 8.5 by 11 inches. So the size of these squares don't really matter. Just make sure that you just make a shape there and that you are coloring all the way to the edge, and that's what's important. It just needs to be that size. You just make one up there and one down here. That's it. So we go back here and we're going to duplicate that twice. Now we're going to drag it over, and it can be fairly close. And I have snapping on so that I can make sure that I'm keeping everything about the distance to be the same. So I'm going to select all of them, and I want to try to utilize the space more just to show you guys that we're using the entire sheet. You do want to keep in mind though that you are keeping a space around just a little bit, no bigger than your little squares here. You don't want the space to be less than 1/4 of an inch. And the reason for that is because most printers will not print in that area. If you try to make this bigger, it'll fit in here. Oops, it'll fit there, but when you go to print it, it's going to be cut off. Most printers do not print all the way to the edge, and I'll show you this later. So with all of this selected, I'm going to group this and close it, and I'm going to duplicate that group, and then I'm going to drag it over, and there. That's good. Now remember this one that I made a copy of? I did this so I can make that smaller. And we're going to select it. Gonna bring it here. Gonna make it smaller, and we're gonna turn it right there. And make it smaller again. A bit. There we go. Duplicate that. And once more. There. So I'm fairly happy with that. I'm gonna turn the background off. Now you can see the background. Leave the registration marks there. And we're gonna do two things. We're going to go to share and share PNG. Now, since we're doing this all straight from the iPad, I use an HP printer, and this is my HP printing app. So I'm gonna click on that. And it's gonna bring that up. Down here, you're gonna see this little square. That's so that you can resize your sheet, crop it, rotate it, whatever you wanna do. I'm gonna go and resize it. And you want to make sure that you put it to original size. Don't do fill to page, don't do fit to page, just do original size. Now, don't freak out if you see this here. This is what I was saying earlier. Printers don't print to the edge, and that is why it's not showing it. But don't worry, it's gonna print the full page. Okay, so here is my printed sheet. As you can tell, the registration marks that we created are up there and down here. All right, so now we're gonna go back to the app. So on the app, it's still going to have this. You went to print. Now you're just gonna go straight there and you're going to save image. And now you've saved this as a PNG file. Now I'm gonna go to my canvas. You're just gonna open up an empty canvas and you're gonna go to upload, and you're gonna see all my tests of this print and cut that I've been working on. And we're gonna go here, and it's gonna come up like this. If it comes up like this for you, don't worry. Just go to erase, actually go to remove, and just press it down and go to the empty space and let go, and it's going to fix it for you. And there it is. It looks the same. So we go to next. No changes here. We're not going to touch anything there. Go to next. And this is the other important thing that you want to make sure you do. You're going to pick the cut image, not this one. We normally would do this, but we're not doing this for now. We're going to do this one and just name it. I'm going to name it Test 100 because I've done this so many times and it didn't even type that in, so it doesn't matter. Name it whatever you want it to be. So here it is. Here's all the ones that I've been testing out on. This is the one we're working with. We're going to upload it. And of course, it's going to come up huge. So you just want to select it. Make sure it's selected. Go to Edit. And you're just going to go here and you're going to type in 8.5. Then click outside of it and it's going to automatically populate the 11 inches there. So it's set. Now you're going to go to Actions and going to go to High Contour. And you're going to contour this stuff out of here. And it's going to leave you with just your registration marks. Here's why we're going to do this. I have a Cricut maker. The person that I was working with on doing this hack with Procreate, she has a Joy and an Explorer, and the way that she was doing it just wasn't working for me, and here's why. You're gonna see this later, but if you go here, when the mat is in here, it's really in there, and we're gonna need to tape the mat down for a moment, and then we're going to have to bring it back out, and we have to peel the tape off. It sounds complicated, but it's not. You're gonna see it's very simple. But I couldn't do this with the maker because I could not fit my fingers all the way in here to try to get the tape out. So this is what we're gonna do. We're back to the screen here, and we're gonna push it down and right. So we're gonna essentially push it down to this corner. Before it was pushed in that way by default, we're gonna push it down all the way to this corner. So now it's down here and it's up there. And we're gonna go to continue. Since I did this on printer paper, just to show you guys, I'm just gonna choose sticky note. And sticky note is actually what I use for my Cricut sticker sheets. It's perfect. I use it at the lowest level. I think the lowest you can go is 100. I only do one pass and it cuts it perfectly. So here's what we're gonna do next. On your sheet, you're gonna go ahead and cut out those squares. I'm gonna show you in one moment. So here is the sheet that I'm working with, and it is cut out at the corners. So now I'm gonna show you why we're doing this. So you see exactly where the squares are. It's down here in this corner and up there. I did the same thing on my mat. I taped it up there and I taped it down here. Don't mind these circles. I did that when I was cutting out some magnet sheets for my daughter's baptism. So we're gonna tape this and tape that there. Now watch what's gonna happen. Okay, so you're gonna leave the mat loaded in. Don't touch anything. I know that blinking light is going crazy over there. Don't even touch it. What you're gonna do next is, you see where I cut the square out? You're just going to go in and take the excess off on there. You're going to do the same thing for this one. And just do it carefully so that you don't pull up the square too. Now this is another key thing here. Don't click OK. Don't do anything. Just swipe up and swipe it away. Don't freak out. It's still there. Go back to your app. You're here. Go back to Canvas. And you can see that your project is still there. Go to Actions. Go back to Contour. And just select it again. Go back to Make It. Put it back down to the corner, to the right, as far back as it will go. Next, what you're going to do is just push your sheet up and just line it up as best as you can with your little square there. And then line it up again with the other corner here. I just put this here to prop up the mat. What I also like to do is just tape the corners again, because now the machine is going to cut over those squares and I don't want it to cut into my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and tape the corner. I'm going to try to do my best to stick it under there and tape it as well. And then I'm just going to, for extra secure safety, I'm going to go ahead and tape this corner and put some up there as well. Only because I'm working with a printer sheet and it's not as strong. And when the machine is cutting, it does tend to move your project around a little bit. So it's always good to tape it down anyway. Okay, so here it is. I taped it. I managed to kind of just slip it under there and I taped it down. As you can see, it is there. I just really needed to cover that square and this one as well. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut it. So we're back to the screen. We moved the project back to where it was. We're gonna hit continue. And it's going. There we are. And again, I'm just gonna choose sticky note. This is just printer paper. And we're ready to go. Now we can do this. Let's watch this magic happen. Every time I do this, I get so scared that it's not going to work. But then it always ends up working out. As long as you follow these steps, it'll be fine. So it's going to cut the square again, and now it's cutting the project. I'm going to continue to record this so you guys can see that this is all from the same thing. I'm not going to be switching out the sheets for one that actually cut accurately. So it's a very short project, so it won't take very long. And if you're wondering about that sticker, the threaded spool, that's actually my boyfriend's mom's Etsy store, and she currently still sells masks, but she's looking into starting to sell other fabric items. So definitely check her out too. Alright, let's inspect this project and see what happened. Let's look at these bigger ones first. And again, I don't hate it. I know the angle on the camera is a little wonky, so you might not be able to see it perfectly, but I think you can see the lines pretty well. Let's look at these little ones. They did pretty good, actually. Might I say that it cut better than the print and cut on a Cricut, the style that they want you to do it. Let me take it off the mat and show you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna do the reveal. So here it is. And so look at this sheet. I used up basically all of it. And look at these cuts. Like, I'll show you guys something. I have this sticker. That's the 3-inch size. And then I tried to cut these to make little sticker packs, but look how horrible. It's touching the design way too much over here. It made it really thick over here. This is with the Cricut's print and cut with the square registration marks and everything. I made these with a Portrait 3 because I was getting tired of Cricut and its BS. But I think I'm gonna return the Portrait 3 and I'm gonna just stick to this hack instead because it's still more accurate than the machine that's supposed to be better. So that's it. I hope this helped someone. I'm sorry that it was so long. It wasn't supposed to be, but I tend to be very thorough and I didn't want to miss any steps. But if you guys have any questions, definitely, if you found me through the group, hit me up there. If you have any questions, definitely put them in the comments and let me know what you think. I'm sorry for my dirty mat, but you know what? This brand is very sticky and I can't work on super sticky mats with my stickers. They do need to be a little bit worn in, and that's why I've been using it this way. So this is my store. Sorry for the mess. I'm still working on sorting those out, but this is my Etsy store and I just started it up a little bit, and I was honestly so hesitant to start it up because of the issues I was having with Cricut. But I think I'm good now, and I hope this helps anybody else making stickers and that it helps anybody that needs to do anything with the print and cut on a Cricut. So don't give up on your Cricut. Don't try to sell it and try to get a portrait because all machines are a little wonky. Just stick with what you have and just make it work for you.